We are now just 10 months away from the release of Star Wars Episode 9 by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of people are really interested in when it comes to this movie is exactly how J.J. Abrams is going to utilize the different cameos that will be making their way into Episode 9. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art, and storyboard descriptions, etc. A lot of people have been very curious about Obi-Wan Kenobi being portrayed by Ewan Mcgregor for Episode 9, and what's really exciting about all of this is that it's described that there are plans in place to have Ewan McGregor provide voiceover work for the final installment of this trilogy for a sequence that involves Rey. It's said that they are working around Ewan's schedule and that they are preparing for him to provide dialogue for a scene this June that involves the character of Rey, portrayed by Daisy Ridley. It's described to be a sequence where Obi-Wan is not seen, however a scene where Obi-Wan reaches out to Rey that is said to connect to the dialogue heard in The Force Awakens. So, a couple of things I want to take from this that I find very intriguing, and I think it may just answer some things in Episode 7. So, by far, one of the biggest questions of all time in the sequel trilogy was, well, why did Obi-Wan Kenobi reach out to Rey? Why did he say, Rey, these are your first steps? What was the whole deal about that? You know, why would he know Rey, or why would he be talking to Rey before Luke Skywalker, right? So, there have been a lot of, thoughts by a lot of fans thinking that it was actually a flash forward, and that seems to be the case. So, what I mean by all of this is that this dialogue that Ewan McGregor is actually scheduled to do come this June of course, 2019, this year, for Episode 9, for a sequence that involves Daisy Ridley, of all people, right, as Rey, for a sequence that's going to explain some of the dialogue in Episode 7, The Force Awakens. So, I think that this pretty much nearly confirms that in Episode 7, that line of dialogue from Obi-Wan Kenobi was actually a glimpse of what he was saying to Rey in the future during the events of Episode 9. So it does make sense, because if you look at The Force Awakens Force-back vision, it basically starts from the moments in the past leading to events in the future. Note the Starkiller base sequence in the Force-back vision. You see Kylo Ren in the snowy woods. Then it ends with Ewan McGregor's voice. And of course Alec Guinness's. So with that being said, how they're working around his schedule, because we do know that Ewan is going to be busy for the next couple of months with The Land of Sometimes and another movie called The Cow, which are both in pre-production. We also know that he's currently filming Birds of Prey, alright, so he's busy with that. So they're working around his schedule, and he's currently scheduled in for June in order to do some voiceover work for the off-screen Obi-Wan Kenobi scenes. So, there are going to be sequences where we do get to see Obi-Wan Kenobi as a Force ghost in a different way than ever before, but there's also going to be sequences in which we hear Obi-Wan Kenobi off-screen reaching out to Rey, and that's exactly what Ewan McGregor is going to come in for this June, where he's actually going to provide some dialogue for JJ and crew. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this seems like around, I believe, the same exact time when JJ actually brought in Ewan McGregor for, the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi to be a part of that movie. I think it was over the summer of 2015, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken. But when you look at everything Episode 9 related, we do know that JJ is trying his very best in order to really connect this film to the sequels as well as the originals and the prequels. He wants to make us view all the past 8 films in a different way, hence this movie having saga-wide implications. Like I say, it's a big risk because we do know that Disney and Lucasfilm are using this movie as a course correction, and that the future of this franchise really does depend on Episode 9's success. It truly does. If you look at what happened with, of course, Solo: A Star Wars Story and the box office results, and how that affected the future of the franchise, how they canceled endless movies and TV series planned, they actually had to reshape their entire future of this franchise because of one movie that did pretty much, bad at the box office because of The Last Jedi Backlash. So you could only imagine what would happen with episode 9 if that failed to meet expectations for fans, and if that actually led to a change in the future of the franchise, or maybe even a very long hiatus. So, with Obi-Wan Kenobi being a part of this story only makes sense also, and it's a great way to honor the character of course, Obi-Wan, portrayed by actors Alec Guinness and Ewan McGregor. A beloved character, which by the way is getting his own TV series. I don't know if you guys heard this, but we do know that at Star Wars Celebration, they're going to be announcing a third live-action TV series. This is without a doubt going to be the Obi-Wan TV series, and I'm pretty certain, I would not be surprised that they have Ewan McGregor pop out on stage and surprise fans as they go wild, as the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series is officially announced on the big stage. So, with that being said, guys, what do you think about all this below in the comments? And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon we hear them moans again.